In 2024, being born in the early 90s, it has been the most interesting experience. And you may be like, what are you talking about? Well, I guess I'm talking about technology. How much it's evolved to where it's made such an impact, where it's put a pamper, an impact, a detour, created a path, or what have you, when it comes to your life. It's had a big impact on it, in it, around it. But when you think about it, for me, I remember when the landlines were here. I remember getting kicked off the landline, with the internet and all of that stuff, or getting kicked off the internet from the landline. That computer being like 50 pounds. Having to print out maps just to travel because you didn't have it at the palm of your hands where it talked to you and told you when to turn right or left. My generation, we watched it. We watched MySpace until now. We were also the same ones, my generation, the ones in the one in front of us, which I believe would what be? I don't know. I think I'm a millennium. I don't know. But both generations basically taught the older generations how to even work the technology. And you look back on just the past 20 years, and some of you that are, 20 years old, you don't know life, what it's like without it. And you've seen how much it's changed people's lives, for the good, for the bad, just like everything, right? Just like everything in life, good and bad, right and wrong, left and right, up and down, yin and yang, black and white. But here we are in 2024. Where everything is literally at the palm of our hands. Any type of information you are looking for, you can find at the palm of your hands. And it comes down to, are you utilizing that tool? Or are you abusing that tool? For someone like me, I haven't had social media in years, and I'm 31. So you can imagine leaving social media when I was about 25 years old. 26, something like that. I think I was 25. But leaving social media in the peak of it all, when all these other apps are starting to come out, the Twitter and the Instagram, and now, TikTok. And me, I just haven't been around for it, how to entertain it. And you can see, you can see the up and down, the left and the right, the good and the bad. But when I look back, even further than that, past the years that I haven't had social media, at least 5 years I haven't had social media. Yes, YouTube, but no social. No Instagram, Facebook, none of that. But when I look past that, and I watched how much we've evolved in the same sense, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to go travel and know all the things. For instance, I hauled butt down to Florida with Hurricane Irma on the way. It ended up taking me 30 hours or something, round trip. It was something crazy. And it normally only takes me 12 hours, so it would have been like 24 hours normally round trip. But it was something like 30, 35 hours or something. But I had the technology that, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, I was going down when everybody's trying to get out. There was things I needed to handle. And so when I turned around, once I did what I needed to do, whatever, once I went to go back out, you can only imagine like the line and the traffic. And so even that technology saved a lot of time. You know, I heard what took me 3 hours was taking other people 8 hours because I was hitting back roads. And there was other people doing the same thing that were using the same tool. And what was a long trip could have been an even longer trip if I didn't have that tool. In 2024, there's so much accessible to us, information-wise, where you can literally gain so much wisdom without having to get your butt off the couch. You can literally gain so much wisdom, stuff in your face with double stuffed Oreos, fresh out the freezer, and a gallon full of milk, okay? Sitting on the recliner. You can literally, it's incredible how much technology has really, really, really changed the game. But when it comes to a game, everybody knows there's always ends up being somebody that wants to try to cheat some way, somehow. Not every game there's a cheater, but when you're in a tournament and you got multiple games, some of them know which teams are the ugly players, which teams play dirty. I remember when I had a family member that worked at Motorola, and I remember when the first full keyboard pager, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It became like my toy when I was like 6 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old. I don't remember exactly around what age, but probably more like between 8 and 10. But I thought it was literally the coolest thing ever. And here I am looking at myself on this screen, on this phone right here, and I'm about to upload it to whoever knows where it goes. I mean, incredible, right? But when it comes down to it, what does your life look like when it comes to technology? Because for me, I know what my life looked like 7 years ago when it came to technology. And there's a lot of aspects in your life that I'm talking about because when it comes down to it, technology, it affects more than what meets the eye in your life. And so, even for me, putting down the YouTube is a little difficult. But in the same sense, I got to remind myself, are you looking at an educational video? Or are you looking at something that is putting you in a not so good mood? Once I learned that, wasn't really me learning it. How I got to learning it was me asking myself, like, okay, it was kind of like me putting myself up against a challenge. Like, can you put it down or can you not? Can you step away from the YouTube for a few hours, for a day, for a week, for however long? But then it also came down to me where it's like, if I utilize it as a tool, especially a multi-purpose tool, it's not such a bad thing to do. But if I'm not utilizing this tool and it's collecting dust, or I'm utilizing it in the wrong areas because it's not that type of tool, it's not going to be used for its highest potential, let alone my benefit. It won't benefit me either if I do not know how to use my tool, or what to use my tool on or with, or how to jimmy rig it with my tool. You know, you can use a pry bar for multiple different ways. If you know how to use a pry bar different ways, you can still get the same outcome, or you can get different outcomes with different ways you use it. When it comes to your life and it comes to technology, what type of tool is it to you? Because for me, I'm pretty old school with it, so it's been an adjustment. I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I wasn't sure what type of tool it was for me either. I wasn't sure how to use it. I had to go to school a little bit to try to figure it out, I guess. The YouTube school, you know? But it was always a challenge for me, and I guess that's why I just cut myself off from social media too. And I mean, there was multiple reasons I feel like I did from social media, but like the whole technology, like overtaking me, making me feel like it was just like too much, you know? Because I just, it didn't go hand in hand, or at least that time in my life, it didn't go hand in hand. It wasn't fitting in the equation. And the equation was like, no, you don't fit in this Tetris square, okay? Like, this Tetris is supposed to be built a certain way, and you are not supposed to be here right now. Like, we're trying to put a square, and you're a freaking triangle. Get out of here. We need a square. You know, so it was like, you need to cut this out. And you need to figure out what's up with this tool that everybody got. That everybody's throwing around like a monkey wrench. It's, you know, it's, it's, when you, honestly, okay, when you just take a step back from it and you, okay, when you have a tool, you can literally get frustrated with it if you don't know how to use it. And if you use it overuse it or abuse it in its wrong form, then you just get frustrated. You know, if you have, for instance, like with me, when it comes to makeup, a lot of times I be just getting frustrated. I'm just like, I feel like I don't even do it right. I feel like I look in the mirror and it looks like glossy or whatever. It's like you look in a mirror, it's one thing. You look in the camera, it's one thing. And then it's like, which way is it? So I didn't know how to, I don't like doing it because I feel like I don't do a good job yet. Like sometimes I'll try to make it look really natural looking. I'll try to, just put a little foundation, a little mascara or whatever. But like I know if I try to do more than that, I'm gonna be looking like the clown. I need girlfriend. Can you hook me up? Like if I'm going out or something or got a really formal outing, like honey, I cannot do that by myself. I cannot look formal by myself. I need some type of somebody around me to point me in the right direction that knows how to put makeup on good. Same aspect though when it comes to the internet. Do you know how to use it? This technology. Do you know how to use it to where it benefits your life? Did you go to school on how to use it? YouTube school? Are you using it to its best ability? Are you using it to where this tool will last? Or are you using it to where that tool should last you, depending how much you work, even if you work its hardest, it should last you a year. But that tool is only lasting you 4 months because you don't know how to use it. And you just get frustrated. Whatever the situation, equation, or aspect you want to look at. Because what you consume from this technology is it'll be what will present itself to your reality. So if you're presenting something to your reality that you don't necessarily like, but yet you're using that tool to consume that reality, then maybe you should adjust your tool or use your tool a different way to where it's making your reality happy. For instance, like me, I stepped away from the social media apps and all that, but I used the technology to put information in my brain from, YouTube college. From whatever subject matter it was, boom, bada bang. It's at the tip of my fingers. And when I go back to this, last 20 years, I see a lot of people that don't know how to use the tool. I see a lot of people that are just damaging their tool. How does that go? Where it's like, you gotta control the machine. Don't let the machine control you. Like when you're an operator. It's like the same aspect. Are you controlling that tool? Or is that tool controlling you? Are you absorbing as much good, valuable, informational motivational information for your best self to elevate you, or are you using that tool to get you frustrated, to get you aggravated, to where you can't get the job done because you just, you're just aggravated. You just, to where you almost can't even breathe, and you look like a cherry head because you look like your head's about to pop off and explode because you just need to take a step back. You just need to say, in the nose, out the mouth. And then you look at the job, and you look at the tool, and you look at what you're up against, and then you say, all right, let me try to use this tool this way. It's how you want to use your tool. How do you want to use technology when it comes to your life? What does your life look like to you when it comes down to technology? Not what it looks like on the video that you just watched. Not what it looks like on this video that, whatever you're thinking. None of it. Not the nightclub, not the booty flesh that's just popping up on every other freaking video of whatever female. Not any of this, any of it. How are you utilizing technology to be the best tool for you? To where you are gaining and constantly gaining and constantly gaining and gaining and gaining. Not to where the tool is burning your energy out and just frustrating you, making you want to putt. I mean, you become broke if you got to keep putting so much gas inside you. Before you know it, you're mixing it with water and you freaking messed up the engine. You don't want to mess up your engine when it comes to technology. You don't want it to consume you. You don't want it to be what frustrates you. You don't want it to be that thing where you don't know how to control, utilize, and benefit from. You got to learn how to control it. But nothing's easy. Heck, we are living, right? I mean, I'm just making sure. I got to pinch myself over here because I mean, whoo-wee. It's we're at a point where it's just like which route we gonna go. It's been 20 years or however long it's been since like this stuff really started amping up, especially like the past 10 years when it comes to the social medias and all that stuff. And we do see a lot of good things happening as with information being spread, especially when it comes to recent nature disasters and all that. You can see how people have communicated, and technology was the one that was there to make sure word was spread. So when it comes to your life, it's something I hope you consider asking yourself, because moving forward in the future, it's something we all need to ask ourselves, especially with how quick the momentum has been. When it comes to anything in life, there's good, the bad, the ugly, all the things, all the things. But from my understanding, it is truly, 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 truly what you make of it, what you make of your life, what you make of every situation, circumstance, object, anything, everything and anything. It is literally what you make of it. And I was one of those ones that's just like about, technology and all the blase. I got an old soul, I got an old soul. And it's just not something I jump for hooray and, jump for and jump hooray and say hooray, try to say jump and hooray at the same time. But it's not something I jump for. I don't like talking to somebody that I don't see and they're doing something in my house. Back to the point. I was one of those people, and it took me a while just to come to this conclusion that you're only seeing the bad. There's a lot of good you can do too with it. There's a lot of good that can come out of it. There's a lot of good that has been done through it. And the only way we have gotten to where we have gotten and progressed this far and gotten so much information in society across nations, worlds, states to each other is from these devices. But it can also be the same thing that does the opposite. So that's again why I say, what does your life look like when it comes to this tool? Because it doesn't matter what Joe Schmo, Mary, Jeremiah, Joseph, and Shakila, Shawanda, Shanae, Dante. It doesn't matter what any of them got to say or any of them do with their tool, with their technology tool. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you're doing and how you're using your tool and how much energy you are putting into this tool and how much energy this tool is giving back to you when it comes to results. The energy of results. The energy of a whole bunch of information that you gained from this from this, I'm trying to say Sanamar. Y'all, I can't, you don't understand the English, it's always been tricky for me. It's always been tricky for me. And I totally just lost my train of thought. Oh. I totally just went blank. Oh. Well, the moral of my story, how are you going to use it? It's a tool, just like everything. But what does life look like for you, since it is literally everywhere around us? And it's come to the point, well, I made the conclusion where it's like you can't necessarily, stop it. You can't necessarily sit here and prevent it, because it has just come to a point where it's everywhere and anywhere. I mean, I there's so much information out there that I can go on social media and find out about people that I don't know, haven't seen, haven't talked to, all in years. But how does this tool work for you? And what do you need to do to make sure that you're utilizing this tool to its best ability? In that it's like, in a sense, you have to write the manual and then read the manual and then double, triple check the manual and then proofread the manual and then finalize the manual and then know how to use the tool. But your manual is your own manual. What does your manual look like? Do you know what it looks like? It's a tool that can be utilized in many ways, and it can be used to benefit you, or it can be used to hurt you. Which way are you using it? All I know is it's a beautiful day, and I'm going to go get in the sun. You got all the tools, baby. Learn how to use them.